Hey there dancers, it's Kirsten. Welcome back to Twin Talks Ballet. Today I'm going to share with you 4 common mistakes I see a lot of dancers make when they are wondering what is their next career going to be. I know you guys, it happened again. The video is out of focus. In the meantime, just put your focus on the content and the audio of this video. Feel free to listen to it podcast style. It does get a little bit better towards the end, but bear with me. My apologies for the fact that my camera would rather focus on my plants. We're talking through it. We're working on it. Just wanted to say sorry, and I know. Okay, thanks. You know, so often that's going through a dancer's head, especially in times of uncertainty like this. I totally empathize with that. I've, made all these mistakes I'm going to share with you myself when I very suddenly decided to stop pursuing a professional career in ballet due to a knee injury. Despite the fact that I had a college degree and I thought I had a backup plan, nothing I thought was going to happen ended up coming to pass. And I felt like I had no real direction, and I figured things out as I went. So I totally get what it's like to feel overwhelmed, confused, and quite frankly lost. So I'm excited to share these tips with you, and this is also something I've been working with a lot of dancers on. As a mindset coach, I've been working with dancers individually to help them first make that decision for themselves of, is it time to move on from ballet, or should I give it another year? And then if they decide it's time to move on, I help them identify their next steps, identify their values, so they can start to assess what career options can they start to look into and take action towards to get clarity and confidence on their next direction. So this is a process I go through with dancers all the time as a mindset coach. And so I just want to say at the beginning of this video, if you clicked on this video because you're feeling really overwhelmed and just confused about what's next for you, and you don't really know what to do, and you're struggling with the idea that it really might be time to leave, the professional realm or the pursuit of it right now, then know that the support you're needing and the support you're looking for is out there. Just go to my website, kirstenkemp.com. It's linked down below. You can read through my website, get a feel for what mindset coaching is, what I do to help dancers, and you can also schedule a free consultation where we'll talk over what you're struggling with, what you'd like to get help with, what your goals are, and we'll assess if mindset coaching would be just the thing to help you identify your next steps and start going down that road with confidence. So without further ado, let's get in with the video. So the first mistake I see a lot of dancers making is first asking themselves as a top priority, what am I interested in? Now, it's not a bad thing to ask yourself what you are interested in doing, but here is the little caveat that I think is super important to point out, which is that many dancers are actually looking for a career that's a form of entertainment. They're asking the wrong question. Instead of what is going to keep me engaged and interested all day and give me a sense of passion and fun and fulfillment, instead of asking that, you could be asking a much more sustainable and productive question to yourself, which is, what problems am I really good at solving, and in what career can I provide the most value? Because a lot of dancers will also say, I just want to make a difference. Especially after being a dancer, it's so easy in this field to feel devalued, like you don't even exist, like no one sees your efforts, like you're not making a difference in the world. It can feel like you're just consuming all these resources for what purpose, we don't know. And a lot of dancers kind of swing the other direction and they're like, I want to make a difference, which is great. But the way you actually do that isn't by focusing on, where your passion in it is and how can you feel entertained by your career every day. Instead, it's how are you best at providing value? And when you provide value to other people, when you solve their problems, whether it's an organization's problems or an individual's problem, whatever it is, or, a governmental problem, business is problem solving. And when you're able to solve problems successfully with your talents, your strengths, and your skill set, your knowledge, all these things, that is when you can tangibly see that what you're doing is making a difference and you monetarily get rewarded for it. People don't pay people to just feel inspired and passionate all day. They provide money to people who are solving a problem for them. Even if it is, I'm bored and I want to be entertained. So in that case, like that's how the entertainment industry sustains careers for people that provide them a sense of passion. So I'm not saying it's totally illegitimate to pursue a passion. Obviously, I think it is legitimate, but if you're looking into a secondary career option, I would take a break from that approach and ask yourself, how can I provide value? How do I want to provide value? Basically, what am I good at? What problems do I want to be paid to solve? In that practice of providing value and solving problems, you're going to feel purpose and you are going to find interest in what you do. It's so interesting that when you just feel purposeful, even the smallest little tasks in work can feel like you're really doing something. They can be gratifying, they can be interesting, and these could be tasks that you never thought you'd be interested in. So don't just rely on the entertainment factor of a career. Ask yourself how you want to provide value. Second mistake. This is such a big one. So listen, don't get me wrong. What I'm about to say, it deserves another caveat, as do most things. So many dancers, if the first thing I pointed out isn't the first thing they think, it's this, which is they want a stable career. Is it bad to want money? Absolutely not. In fact, when you want money, you're actually of value to society because people who want money will provide value in order to get it. We need people in society who want money so that they do some work, exchange some value to get some value. That's how our system works, so it's not a bad thing. However, here's why I bring this up as a mistake. So many dancers value stability first and foremost in a secondary career option because they are running from the pain of not having it in ballet. It is that, as I call, away motivated value. You know, I just don't want something badly enough, so I'm pushing away from that pain I did experience, and that's why I want, for instance, stability. It's not so much that you want stability in a positive sense, it's that you're coming from a history of your needs not being met. And that is valid. And so again, it is totally valid to seek a secure career option. However, if that is one of the primary values that leads you in your career search, like if you are looking primarily for stable careers, what you're going to be looking at is, again, valid, but it's kind of coming from this backward approach. Instead of, well, you're looking at companies asking, you know, what is the path of least resistance? What are the jobs that I can most reasonably get from my perspective right now and the resources I have right now? What company is going to provide me with stability? Instead of being a lot more self-initiated and treating yourself as being the CEO of your own company. You are your own boss. Truly, we're all in business for ourselves. If you are the CEO of You Inc., which is a concept I got from this book, Thou Shalt Prosper. I made another video on it. I'll link the book below. It's fantastic. But when you act like you are the CEO of You Inc., you know what problems you want to solve. You know what value you provide. And you know where you can get customers for this, whether it's a large company or one-on-one customers. You can create stability for yourself by knowing what career path would allow you to provide the most value. You know, when you're consistently providing value, that's when you actually create a sustainable career for yourself. You create security, and that will actually allow you to look for career options that are best suited for you and most sustainable. You're most likely to stick with this career. You're most likely to, feel purposeful in it and want to, do the hard things to keep pursuing it instead of going the path of least resistance because you're just tired of instability. You just want that paycheck. It's kind of a, I want to just get mentality instead of what can I give to get. Totally different approach, and I hope that resonates well with you. And I also want to just add on to that point that if you're just seeking security first, recognize that you might be burnt out from taking risks. And risk is an insecurity. It's an instability. And so after coming from ballet, you might be totally burnt out with risk taking, and that is totally valid. That's why it's important to seek mental healing after your ballet career, because if you don't resolve that, what if there's a career path that's next for you? Like maybe it is entrepreneurship. Like if I was too scared to listen to that voice inside, then I would have been like, no, I'm sick of risk taking. I don't want to do it. Then I wouldn't be doing what I'm doing now, which I love and I find purpose in it, and there's actually stability in it. You need to be prepared to know where you're going to provide value, and then from there, that career path might involve taking risks in education, putting in a lot more hard work to develop skills that you know you have the potential for, but you have not yet built them. And so if you just pursue security first, you're probably going to take the path of least resistance, which probably won't get you the best results possible. Whereas if you're willing to take risks, if it is worth it, then that can provide a much better and actually more secure and sustainable career option for you. Mistake number 3 is that many dancers have a lot of pain and baggage coming from their past with ballet. You know, there's probably a lot of reasons why you want to leave it behind if that's a decision you're facing right now. And so a lot of dancers, and this is probably the mistake I made the most when I was contemplating what was going to be next for me, is that I instantly tried to just cut my losses with ballet, not think about it, and just pursue basically a totally different life. I didn't really have I didn't hold that space for myself to do that inner healing and to reconcile with my past and to look it in the face and to ask, okay, what do I reasonably want to let go of and leave behind? And what are some things in my life as a dancer or traits in the life I had that I actually want to carry through into another career? I was just it was so painful. I was just trying to cut my losses and leave it behind and then pursue something totally different. And what I was pursuing was actually a retaliation for my past in ballet. I wasn't trying to carry the good from ballet into something else. I was just trying to leave all the pain behind. And that caused me to also take a lot of my limiting beliefs that I picked up in ballet. Like, I felt like a failure for a while for having to stop because of an injury. So that identity of I'm a failure was really lowering my confidence in what was going to be possible for me in my next career. I had a lot of limiting beliefs about like, oh, my skills aren't transferable. Like, who's going to want to take me and all this stuff? And so I would lowball myself and shoot for really just, things I was overqualified for. Thankfully, a lot of doors were closed for me in my life that led me to where I am now. And I don't think it was because of my qualifications. I think it was a divine intervention for sure. That's just my belief. But there was so much pain that was just causing a self-limiting mentality that was actually limiting my capabilities. It was limiting what I was pursuing. It was limiting the opportunities that I saw. I didn't believe that I could do so much of what's out there in the world because I just come from feeling like a failure. And so when you don't believe you can do something, you're not going to pursue it. Imagine if you believed really the sky was the limit for you in your next career. You would actually take action to make that next ambition a reality. But when you believe you can't, or when you're really suffering from a lot of emotional just trauma from the past you're leaving behind, you're not going to be able to go forward with clarity, and you're not going to be able to make an objective decision based off of your values and your strengths as a person. You're going to be making a lot of decisions based off of the perspective of pain you want to avoid. That's why it's really important to get support during this time to help you filter through your values, to help you understand what is actually important to you. What do you need to resolve and heal from in your past? What do you want to let go of? What do you want to carry into your future? What is important to you in a positive sense? I mentioned values being either towards motivated or away. Something can be important to you because it gets you a positive thing, or something could be important to you because that value helps you avoid pain. If most of your values are away motivated, you're focusing in the wrong direction, okay? So that's why it's really important to get support during this transition, because the decisions you will be able to make as a result of having a more objective perspective will be life-changing. I will guarantee you that. Number 4, the last one. So many dancers want to help people in their next career. I love it. I'm all about it. Do it. Love helping people. It's great. It's what I do. I think it's so important and wonderful that many dancers want to help other people. Here's the mistake though. Many of us, we only know what's possible based off of what we've seen before. That's why it's so important to have experiences that expand your perspective, because until you see other people doing other things, you're not going to get ideas for what's possible for you. So what I'm seeing is in careers or having this idea like, I want to help people with my next career, a lot of dancers have a very narrow definition of what kind of careers help people. They envision, I'm going to be a physical therapist because what it looks like to help people is being one-on-one or physically helping them. I have to do something that fosters interpersonal relationships to help people. You probably have a smartphone, or at least a computer if you're watching this. Would you say that the person who designed this computer helped you greatly? Probably. I sure as heck would say that. Male men and women really help us. Just like chiropractors really help us. As dancers, we oftentimes experience help that really changes our life through, physical therapists, chiropractors, therapists, coaches, whatever, like all these fields that are very one-on-one, very interpersonal, but that's not the only way to help people. You might have a gifting in the area of finance, technology, sciences, all sorts of things that do really help people and move society forward. But if you're stuck in this narrow idea of, I just want to feel purposeful and valued because I'm helping people, that's probably first coming from feeling undervalued as a dancer and feeling invisible. But also you need to expand your mind and ask yourself how you are best suited to help people, and get creative with this. Don't just go with the instant cookie cutter answers of, like I'm used to moving my body, so I'm going to be a Pilates teacher. That's awesome. Be a Pilates teacher if you're really passionate about it. Pilates teachers are great. I trained in teaching Pilates, so it's like I'm not hating on it, but don't be fooled in thinking that is the only way to help people and that is the only honorable option for you. Think bigger. I want to challenge you to think bigger, because I truly believe that dancers are highly intelligent, highly competent people who have a lot to offer the world, but so many dancers hide and limit themselves before they give themselves the chance to see what happens when they freely provide that value in the way that they are uniquely meant to do it. So anyway, those are my 4 tips. I really hope that you thoroughly enjoyed this video and got a lot from it. Please hit the like button, because when you do, the YouTube algorithm not only feeds you more videos like this because you're telling it that you want more of it, but also it's going to send this video out and others like it to dancers who need to hear this message. So do a little bit of community service, hit the like button. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you later. Bye.